Hello student, myself Ganga, I am your science sir. Today we will start new chapter number 16, management of natural resources. Dear student, we are going to discuss about some natural resources like water. We get the water from the river, ocean, pond. Okay, so we have to maintain it properly. So in future generation they can use it properly. Okay, so we will start. Natural resources. First, resources are sources of supply held in the reserve which is useful to man or can be transformed into the more valuable and useful item for the mankind. So what is called resources? Many resources are there, like for the water we have resources are there. Okay, for the different type of ores are there. Okay, they for them also different resources are there. Okay, so a source of supply held in the reserve, it is present in the reserve in the nature which is useful for man or can be transformed into the more valuable and useful item for the mankind. Okay, so you can see here it is the word is written that it can be transformed into the more valuable and useful item for the mankind. We can simple take about example of wind. We can take more example also, like by the kinetic energy of wind we can produce the electricity by windmills. Okay, so here we can transform into the more valuable and useful item for the mankind. Natural resource. A natural resource is a source obtained from the nature. People use natural resources as a raw material to manufacture or to create the variety of modern conveniences. Okay, so what is natural resources? A natural resource is a source obtained from the nature. It is already available in the nature. People use natural resources as a raw material to manufacture or to create the variety of modern conveniences. So many examples are there, but we take simple example. In near future, petrol, kerosene and diesel is not available. It is going to over. So in the next generation, the new car come in the existence. They are run by what? Electricity. So if we have the solar panel are there, then by this solar panel only we can charge the electric car. So this is one example. We can take number of example. For example, water and food, forest produce, fruits, nuts, vegetables, etc. provide the human with the substance and energy, while the fossil fuel generate the heat as well as energy, transportation and industrial production. So forest give us different type of fruit and vegetables. From that we get carbohydrate, protein, vitamins. Same way fossil fuel are there, from that we can get the energy. Fossil fuel, in that we can say that petroleum products are there. What is fossil fuel? Before so many years ago, the dead bodies of the animal and plant are buried into the earth crust, and because of the high temperature and pressure they convert into the fuel. That fuel is called the fossil fuel, and simply we can say that they are petroleum product. Okay, or they make the coal. Okay, so what is petroleum? Petroleum means what? Petro means rock and oleum means oil. The oil obtained from the rock, that is called the petroleum. Okay, so this fossil fuel is used as a energy transportation and industrial production. Pollution in Ganga. The Ganga runs its course of over 2500 km from the Gangotri in the Himalaya to Ganga Sagar in Bay of Bengal. Okay, so nowadays there is a serious problem of pollution in the Ganga. Ganga is considered as one of the pious river in Hinduism, and because of this all the unwanted activities, it is became a polluted. Okay, so it cover how much? 2500 km from Gangotri in Himalayas to the Ganga Sagar in the Bay of Bengal. It is being turned into the drain by the more than 100 towns and cities in UP, Bihar and West Bengal. So it will pass from the around almost 100 towns and cities in UP, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal. Ganga, along with its tributaries, is the largest and very important river basin of the country. So it is a very important river basin of country like Narmada. Okay, Ganga's pollution load, the toxicity kill fishes in the large section of river. It has been treated as a symbol of purity, but today it is a very much polluted due to the following factors. Okay, so many fishes are died. Two reasons are there. First reason is that dissolved oxygens are decreases. Okay, whatever dissolved oxygen in the water is decreases, then because of that reason aquatic animals are die. Same way, what happened? Pollutions are increased because of the industrialization. So because of the pollution also the fishes are die. It has been treated as a symbol of purity. In Hinduism it has so much considered as a symbol of purity, but today it is a very much polluted due to the following factors. Disposal of untreated sewage, garbage and excreta by the more than 100 town cities situated along the river in Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar and West Bengal. Okay, so disposal of untreated sewage, whatever the wastewater are there, they are not purified, untreated, they are untreated sewage water, garbage and excreta by the more than of 100 town city are situated along the river in Uttarakhand, UP, Bihar and the West Bengal. Because of this, all the unwanted things are going into the water, and because of that reason Ganga river is what? Polluted. Daily human activities like the bathing, washing clothes, immersion of the ashes or unburned crops. Okay, so unburned crops, immersion of the ashes, washing of clothes, daily human activities like bathing, washing, and these all cause the pollution in the river Ganga. Dead bodies of animals and humans, wallowing of cattle. Okay, so dead bodies of animals and humans are also going in the river Ganga because it consider that it is very pious. Okay, and it create the pollution. Discharge of chemical effluents by the industries. So many time what happen, whatever so many industries are there, they leave the water at last. Okay, and because of that reason also the pollution is what? Increases. Like dye industries are there, then pharma industries are there, whatever they use the material, at last the whatever not usable material are there, they are going into the water and it causes the pollution. Ganga Action Plan. Ganga Action Plan was launched in 1985. Ganga Action Plan is a multi-crore project to clean the river Ganga. So Ganga Action Plan was launched in 1985. Ganga Action Plan is multi-crore project to clean the river Ganga. To reduce domestic load on the Ganga, some of the scheme to be implemented in the three states UP, Bihar, West Bengal, through which the river runs under the Ganga Action Plans are. So some actions are taken, okay, to reduce the domestic load on Ganga. Okay, and particularly in three states UP, Bihar and West Bengal, through which the rivers run under the Ganga Action Plans are. First is the interception and diversion. First we will stop the whatever the current of river are there, and then we do the diversion of the Ganga river. Treatment of wastewater, we will apply some treatment to clean the water. Okay, riverfront development, we can develop some building or some locality nearer to the river. Electric crematorium, so we will avoid the wood to burn the dead body. We can use the electric furnace to burn the dead body. That will include in the electric crematorium, so we can reduce the pollution. Okay, as well as dead bodies are not going, human dead bodies are not going into the water. Construction of community toilets. Okay, so people are going in the community toilets. Okay, not they are going in the open area. And conversion of dry toilets to the flush toilet. Okay, so whatever dry toilets are there, in that we can convert into the flush toilets. Okay, so we can avoid the pollution. 3 R's: reduce, recycle and reuse. Okay, first reduce. We should reduce the consumption of various resources wherever possible. Okay, we should reduce the consumption of various resources wherever possible. So unwantedly we have to not use the water. Okay, or we have to not use the electricity. Many resources are there, like unwantedly we should not use the petrol or the CNG gas. Okay, so we have to reduce it. For example, we can reduce the consumption of electricity by switching off the lights and other appliances when they are not required. So we can switch off the tube lights and fan and any other electrical appliances when they are not in the use. Even when the in the traffic signal, we can switch off our bike or the vehicle. While leaving the home, one should always check for the fans and light and switch them off. This can not only help in the saving the fuel which are utilized in the electricity production. So when we switch off the electric switch, when it is unwantedly fan or lights are running, so we can save the electricity and which are utilized in the electrical production. We should immediately repair a leaking tap so that the precious water can be saved. Okay, we should immediately repair a leaking tap so that precious water can be saved. When we were there in 1983 or 1985, at that time, everywhere water is pure, but nowadays water is sell in the bottle. Okay, so future in that many problems are arise. Recycle, there are many items which can be recycled again and again. Recycling is another way of reducing the demand for the natural resources. So whenever we are writing anything on the paper, for that paper so many trees are cut down daily, so we have to recycle the paper. From that paper only we can again and again we can recycle the new paper. So by that way we can avoid the cutting of tree. For example, recycling of paper, we reduce the demand for the wood and thus help in the saving the forest. So if we recycle the paper, then ultimately we save the forest. Reuse, many items can be reused many times. For example, old newspaper can be used for the packing the many items. Again we can reuse. The word is important. We learn here reduce, recycle and reuse. So many items can be reused many times. For example, the old newspaper can be used for packing the many items. Old plastic bottles can be used for the many other purposes. So old plastic bottle can be used for the many other purposes. Okay. Why do we need to manage our resources? Our natural resources are on verge of extinction. Therefore, there is an urgent need to manage the use of natural resources. Okay, our natural resources are on the extinction. They are going to over. Okay, they are on the borderline. Therefore, there is an urgent need to manage the use of natural resources. We need to manage our natural resources because of the following reason. Most of the natural resources are limited. Most of the energy resources are limited, like petroleum products, petrol, kerosene, diesel, coal. Okay, they are limited, or the gas are the natural gas, that is also limited. Human population is increasing at alarming rate and the utilization of natural resources is increasing at an exponential rate. Our population, total population of earth is increases and it total depend upon the natural resources. Okay, so it may possible that after 20 years many cities of the world, they do not have the water in proper amount. Okay, or any other facilities there in the less amount. We are not using the resources in an environment friendly way. Example, burning of fossil fuel create the air pollution. So we are not using the most of the resources in the proper way, and most of the fossil fuel produce because we use randomly and it produce the air pollution. Like fossil fuel are burned, then it produce the air pollution. To ensure the equitable distribution of resources so that all and not just a handful of the rich and powerful people benefit from the development of these resources. Okay, so we have to do something that every people can use the resources very properly, and in future also it is available. Need to reduce the damage caused to the environment while these resources are either extracted or used. Okay, so it is need to reduce the damage caused to the environment while these resources are either extracted or used. Whenever we extracted, okay, at that time we have to take care that it should not damage the environment, or whenever we use, then it produces a little amount of pollution. Safe disposal of waste, example, mining causes the pollution because of large amount of slag which is discarded for the every ton of the metal extracted. Okay, so in the metallurgy, whenever we take out the different type of ores and minerals and we start the purification from the minerals and ores, at that time also so much pollution is produced. Safe disposal of waste, example, mining causes the pollution because of the large amount of slag which is discarded for the every ton of the metal extracted. Slag means at last whatever material is obtained from the metallurgy, that is called the slag. Okay, same way whenever the raw material of nuclear bomb, okay, or the raw material of the nuclear energy should be also disposed properly, then and then we can properly survive on the earth. Okay, dear student, this is all about the today's portion. If you like my video, then like and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.